All right, welcome back, and we're going to start immediately. All right, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel in case if you're new here. And Collins, I see you. Collins said, "Hello, Kai. How are you? I'm good, and you? You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome." All right, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back. So I'm going to go straight to the program. This is of almost 4 minutes, and make sure you share this live broadcast. Very, very important. And we are here to talk about what is going on, not only in Igbo, in Biafra land, in other parts as well. There's this recent call about the buying of Christians, in Bongo, and some people said that no, it's not true. That how can you say that? That is not about Christians. That even Muslims are being buyed as well. Why I'm doing this? Why I try to run this live broadcast? Because I have full questions to to ask. One, we know those are brothers that said, somebody said that Christopher said they were Kai, Mazakai, my regard to your family. Isike, one name, no retreat, no surrender. In USB, we stand. Thank you so much, and please like the video and subscribe to the channel in case if you're new. So some people said that they always preach this kind of thing. If you see something, say something. If you see something, say something group are those people who claim that Master Americano is their problem. Master Americano is the one causing problem. Master Americano is the one sending people to go and do this and do that. Right? Please like and share as you join and remain blessed. Thank you so much. Thank you, Christopher. So Master Americano, they claim that he is the problem. He is the problem. If you see something, say something. Is that anyone tell you that are those who want to make sure they eradicate our youth in the name of fighting against IPOB, fighting against Master Americano? They want to prove a point. And this idea of if you see something, say something. They have they have limits. Fresh, I see you. Fresh, KD. Greetings to you. They have a way of using that slogan to destroy our people. And some of us already know what that means. If you see something, say something. Ike Guruagu, Kesh also, Jovika. Of course, Uche Mefon. These are a group of Igbo people now that always use that slogan. If you see something, say something. But when you see something, or when they themselves see something elsewhere, they don't say something, they don't talk. Ndi Igbo said, "Ndewo, Mr. Kai, you are doing a great job. Keep it up. Thank you so much, Ndi Igbo. I see you." Everything that they are saying, telling you, is a way of bringing you down. But why are they not saying something else when they see something elsewhere? Why must it be in our land? And those things that it's not as, I'm not saying if you see something, if you should support crime. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is that they themselves telling you how to say something and see something and all that. Are they practicing it? Do they practice it? They don't practice it because today, in many states of Nigeria today, insecurity is, ravaging everywhere. People are struggling to lay hands on something. I'm gonna come back to this. This is Senator Sheikh Husani. We are gonna come back to his post. I want us to listen to this. Let's go straight to the video of the very dark man. Where is that? Where is that? His comment. I want us to hear what the very dark man said. That may help us as we move forward. Now, let me adjust the screen. I think it's quite big. Now, let's about it in his first. Let me start from here. All right. So this topic I'm about to address now is very, very sensitive. Pay attention. That President Bola Ahmed Tinubu had to also speak about it in his first of October Independence speech, and it has to do with the Christian genocide happening in Nigeria. So it started. Why President Bola Ahmed Tinubu addressed it is because of Ryan Garcia, an American boxer, that posted this on his Instagram story, where he said the whole Christian population in Nigeria is getting wiped out. Now, after Ryan Garcia talked about it, a lot of journalists in the US started talking about it as well. Now, as you can see here, this guy called... Please don't forget to like the video. By Christ. The irony is shocking. We need to stand with our Nigerian brothers and sisters in Christ. As you can see, this page called Christ XSL. Christians in Nigeria continue to worship after church burned down by Fulani Muslims. This other page called Mass School Christianity. Bill Myers speaks out on the Christian genocide in Nigeria. Now, this other guy called I am Alisa Brazil says, breaking, a new report from Nigeria has cast a stark light on the relentless wave of anti-Christian violence sweeping across the country, revealing that more than 7,000 Christians were by across Nigeria. Armstrong, I see you. You're welcome. Hello, guys. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you. One number. With 100 churches destroyed every month. The figures compiled by the International Society of Civil Liberty and Rule of Law, Society, suggest that the world's most populous African nation has witnessed nearly 19,000 churches attacked, looted, or shuttered since 2009. Now, we've got a lot of engagement. 534K likes, as you can see, 24,000 comments, 48,000 reposts, and 274,000 shares. I even went through the comment section, and one of the comments, this guy, the owner of the page responded with and a GoFundMe account. So I am good, my brother. I thank God. Assist with all of this, assist Christians that have been attacked in Nigeria, and also Christians that have been attacked all over the world. Now the question is this really going on? Because these American journalists are asking, European journalists are asking, is this happening in Nigeria? Well, yes, it is happening. It is happening. Yes, a lot of Christians are being killed in Nigeria. It is no lie. It is no lie. And it has been happening for a long time now. Okay. A long time now. A long time now. But here is the problem. This whole thing, deep investigation shows that it is actually more of politics than religious war. Before you get to that part, he himself, very dark man, is now telling you that it is true that he himself can see the killing of Christians in Nigeria. It is not a lie. He agreed. Then you see our own Igbo people who often tell you, if you see something, say something. Does it mean that they don't see what that man is saying? Because they're all in Nigeria, they all pay attention to what is going on. Why are they not telling or saying what they see? Must it be a particular thing that is it a must that this is what you will talk or what you will say at a particular given time? Because they all of us can see the insecurity and what is going on in other parts of Nigeria and even in the Igbo land, and they want to, when you see something, say something. It's only when they want to go against their own brother, that is when they'll, on attempt to look for somebody who will tell them more stories about it. They tell you, if you see something, say something. Not that they actually mean good for you, not at all. Nolin, I see you. Nolin is here with us, and Ogwe Jofo, I see you. I greet you guys. Please do me a favor by clicking on the like button. You see, one thing I hate so much about this our own people is this. It's not as if nothing is going on and somebody want to create something or plant fear in your mind. We all know that the country, the challenges we are facing. Master Makano did not just start talking about Biafra because he's too free. He don't have anything doing. He did not say anything. That he was able to see before you does not mean that he don't know what he's saying. You yourself that want to make it look like he's a problem, instigator. He wants people to fight each other. Look at what is going on now. And you're a Christian. Jovika is a reverend who don't care about the killing of Christians. He's an American. Few days ago, he was talking about how we sue Ngozo Rabeze, and the American will now question her. Come and tell us, since you said that so thing is going on, so thing happened and all that, come and prove it to us. But he never for once bothered to report anything to even America where he resides, to tell them the killing of Christians as a preacher of gospel. He don't do that. But all his attention is on how to deal with his own people. I'm not saying you should not put more energy or go against criminality in our land or people killing, no. But can you also use the same energy in all the killings? Do not segregate. Do not choose. Call one. When Mr. A by Mr. B, it become a crime. When Mr. B by Mr. C, there's a reason for that. There's no need to talk about it. That is why I have issue. Use the same energy on all the killing, on all the crime going on in our land. Don't just select. Here, very dark man.
That they put out there. That's what they hide it under. Do you understand?
I don't actually agree on everything he said, but just wait.
Right. But in order to make it look real, they have to make it look real by acting on it. So they cook up a war. Do you understand? They just cook up things, make these things up, and boom. But they are casualties. People are affected, and they are mostly Christians. So Christians are like the collateral damage. That being said, Muslims are also being affected. If they call it a Christian genocide, it is what it is. But the people controlling all of this know what they are doing. And I'll tell you why I say it is politics. Do you understand? But sadly, the Christians are being affected more. It is no lie. They buy Christians. Because let's start with Jos. Plateau states have been suffering these attacks, getting victims, deaths, numbers for more than 15 years now.
Plateau State for more than 15 years.
Occupied by 90% Christians and 10% Muslims. As a matter of fact, 2023, I saw this one with my eyes. This attack happened 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th on the Christians in Bokos. That claimed lives. They burnt houses. They burnt people alive. They burnt people in their cars. Do you understand? I went there. I saw them like the boat. I picked one boat. I saw these things with my eyes. Not just that. Recently, just this year, I went to Benue State. Benue State is another state. This whole thing has been happening for more than 15 years as well in Benue State. That's claimed thousands of lives.
Okay.
In Benue State. The recent one, they burnt a lot of people inside their house. So yes, it's going on. And we next go to Kaduna. Kaduna State again, the same thing. Boom, 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 a lot of Christians. But guess what? The Muslims are also being affected.
Yes, of course they will be affected, but the thing there's people being targeted. Now, remember something. Nigeria have three major groups, three major ethnicity or nation. Hausa Fulani, right? They say three major. You may have other nation in a nation. Like Fulani is the different people from Hausa, right? And I know that. But Hausa Fulani or Hausa, Yoruba or Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa, just anyone can come forward. But I want to understand that there are three major groups in Nigeria. In these three major groups, which of them are mainly Christians? Igbo. Second by Yoruba. Igbo is number one. When you talk of Christians in Nigeria, other minority or other ethnic group that are non-Igbo but they are Christians are actually looking up to Igbo tribe, hoping that they are the one. Like if you talk of Muslim in Nigeria, you talk of Northerners. So if you're a Muslim from the south, you are kind of looking up to Muslim in the north, because that is where the concentration of Islam is based. You from the east, as a Christian, you can bring your gospel, you can preach anywhere, you can live anywhere in Nigeria and all that. That's what you are meant to believe, right? And you see people, another people who practice different religion, going all out and targeting one religion that happen to be your own, and you don't even have the audacity to talk about it. I'm not saying an average person. I'm talking about the so-called preachers of the gospel. They don't talk about it. They kept quiet. Why? To them, it doesn't matter. There's no need to waste time. But it really matters. If you like, keep on running saga. Oh, Samonepa is this. Namoneka said this. They are the one cause problem. ESN is this. ESN is that. Is Imam Kano the cause of the killing of Christians all over the place? Is he the one that caused that? No. What was the reason why Mazda Kano decided to protest in London before even talking about Biafran as an agitator or as a freedom fighter? He was campaigning against Boko Haram to make Nigeria to work. So you that want to build you in 2025, you are now realize that no, that you want to help and build it. Where were you when he was protesting to make Nigeria work? So you can see that he have that thing that you are attempting to test or to work now. He has been there. He has done that and find that there's no headway in this line. There's no headway. That is another thing that you need to understand. Now pay close attention for that man.
It's just that them in the north, they don't really have media. They don't do media.
You know what I mean?
It's not that I don't even get full.
They don't do media.
They touch life for where they sing big music.
Okay.
But
that's why they always carry radio.
The Westerners, okay, yes, they don't open and small. They are more educated because there's no education in the north. And this education that they don't have in the north, that is making me and you not to see what is happening in the north, is still the politics.
Mm-hmm.
Why other people are going?
Excuse me.
Deep investigation shows that it is actually more of politics.
No.
15 years as well in Benue State. That's claimed thousands of education that they don't have in the north.
Okay.
That is making me and you not to see what is happening in the north. It's still the politics.
You say the politics.
Why other people are going to school, right? Why other people are going? Why other states in Nigeria, other regions in Nigeria are going to school? They condition the minds of these youth in the north not to go to school. They would rather go to Islamic studies. It's not bad for them to study Islam, but you have to mix it up so that they can be able to communicate with other people and see things from different lights. But they deliberately block their minds with religion so that they can easily manipulate them and control them to their own advantage.
Exactly.
It's easy to start a war in Nigeria. I swear to God, very easy.
Okay.
It's simple. Just do it like this. The Christians they've decided that Prophet Muhammad is not real. So it's now time for us to show them that Prophet Muhammad is real. I swear to God, the whole Nigeria will start up a war. Do you understand? So this whole thing,
I disagree with him on this one. That will not actually cause war. It will cause genocide, not war. Christians don't war. They don't go to war. Especially in the one in Nigeria, they don't mention any time they're being fired and they stand up as one or to do something about it. No, not at all. Instead, they will draft out a prayer that people will be saying every Sunday or every day, so that God will come and as they will control your mind to make you believe that to die as a martyr in the hands of Fulani or anybody like that is the best thing to do. That's number one. Number two, they will control your mind to understand that there's gain in dying as as a Christian, not to fight. No, fighting is a sin, but dying or laying your life for other people is what matters do. So honestly, I don't know that. I don't believe that. Personally, I don't know. I used to believe that though, but now no.
Some people are up there. There's some elites in the north and in Nigeria that are controlling all of this. But sadly, the Christians are more of the collateral damage because of this politics. The Christians are meant to fear the Muslims in Nigeria. But in the real sense, the Christians and Muslims are not even fighting.
Mm-hmm.
This is sponsored by some people.
I agree, they're not fighting.
And that is why it is easier to
Christians are just laying their life for nothing.
In the north. It is easy because they are not educated enough to see that this particular person no one do well for us. He no fit do well for us. The people that are into politics in the north are the educated, the few ones that went to school. So those ones are the ones in control. Do you understand? So this whole Christian and Muslim genocide is happening. They are buying a lot of Christians. They are burning churches and all that. But it's just to make it look real. That something that is not real is real. They have to sell that.
You need to also understand that people doing those things that you're talking about, they are the financier. These are the supporter of buying of Christians. They are in the government. They are in control of many things. Many things. So you don't just expect them to ignore that they are working for their money. They know how much they invest, in all those nonsense.
And at the same time, they have done it so well that there is a very strong unity in the north. They are united by religion. You see, this matter is a whole lot. So there's a story of some scholars, some Islamic scholars in the north, rich guys. So they decided that, if we don't give our people education, they are going to be backward for life. And we don't want that for our people. Let's start sending some of them abroad. Guess what they did to those scholars? I think there were about 6 of them. They buy them.
In Ania.
How dare they want to educate these people? Do you understand? Now, let's go back to the genocide. In the north, they are also suffering. Zamfara, Katsina, Taraba, a lot of northern states are also suffering all of this. Do you understand? You see, the thing is politics. Politics, I swear, they give them guns. You see, now let's go back to Boko Haram. When Boko Haram came, they say Western education is a sin. But guess what? The people that empowered them using religion. I'm telling you, this is politics. It's from the top. These people don't think they have a board. They sit down and just decide these things. See, Western education is a sin, and then they got big guns. But you're using the phone. You got guns that was created by Western education. They hid under that. And they don't want Western education for their people. But they left their people. And then they were going into different Christian states. Then they targeted religion, blah, 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 blah. It is politics, because how do they get guns in the bush? How do they get those helices that they try bulletproof?
It is not practically, politics. Because if you say that it's all about politics, what are they gaining politically by doing that? This is conquest. Even Gumi said it is a battle between one ethnic group to another. I'm not saying that it's all about a religion war or religious war. It looks like it's one, but it's not fully religious war. Because who are you? When you say war, you are dragging something with another person. What are they dragging with Christianity? If I had known, nothing. There's nothing they're dragging with Christianity. All they're dragging is land. And those land belong to indigenous, not to Christianity. Indigenous people. It's not the community, and the land does not belong to Christianity as a religion. It belongs to the people of the owner of the land, indigenous people. Because if you say it's a religious war, the target would have just been churches only, and some prominent Christian, clergymen and all that. But no, it is attack carried out on another ethnic group, like Igbo. Gumi said there is any group that are not Fulanis. That's his own word. So if you look at that, you find out that what he said is true. In that aspect, it is true. Because the target is just to make sure that everything about Christianity, everything about Igbo people is being, destroyed as an ethnic group, and Yorubas as well, because they want land. They want to build a Fulani as a country. That is ethnic war. That with a little bit of, a little touches of religion issue, because they have to use religion to motivate them to fight a war that they themselves cannot even explain. Most of those guys carrying this sophisticated war don't even know the implication of what they're doing. They don't even understand. They lack a lot. They don't understand it at all. So, my people, it is something that everybody need to pay close attention, because those things going on now is not going to end soon. Just a moment.
A lot of cars, bikes. How did you get those things in the bushes? You see, it's politics. But the sad part is that the Christians are being used as collateral damages in order to make the story that there's a religious crisis going on real. I don't think Kaduna for Sharia. We always never know what started the fights. They'll just say, Muslims, they don't come with the blow people. Muslims don't come, fights don't start. Do you understand? Fight don't start. Muslim will go burn church. Christian will slaughter pig. Put the pig blood inside the monks. Muslim go use the monks again. But every time they don't know how it started. And guess what? How will they end? They're very easy. They'll just send GTF. For Kaduna, they'll send GTF. They'll just say curfew. Politics.
Hey, God.
And this is why I didn't get the likes of Bastille Verify.
I am going. Let me go to comment section. Let me go to comment section. I think I don't need to ignore that. Lillian, let me pause this. Excuse me. Lillian, I see you. Lillian is here. Lillian said, Ndewo Mazakai report, God bless you for the great work you are doing for us. Thank you so much for that. Money Man is here. Mbedoma Mazakai. Mbedoma to you. Also blessed. Good evening from here, Mazakai. Good evening to you. Well done for the breaking down of all this, everyone, for everyone understanding. Thank you so much. I see you. Kevin, good evening, Mazakai. Good evening to you. And our own brother, Triple N said, Gumi said that they are in an ethnic war between Fulani and others. I still have the video here, my brother. You are right, 100%. Franco Okonkwo, I see you. I see you. Greetings to you. You're welcome. Good evening, everyone. Kai Report. I salute you. I salute you. You are really trying. Bless you. Bless you, man. We move. Thank you. Now, it's question the Ja Rasta Max. I see you. Don't mind me. And Victoria Wake is here. I see you. I salute you. Greeting to you, Mazakai. Report from our own brother, Triple M. Greeting to you, one mother. Daniel Sola, Udo Derege Maze, Derekwara one mother Kekime. We have to, I want to focus on some of the things going on in our land because it is very dangerous. Most of us need to focus on some stupid people who claim, always say that, like we have it on that title here. If you see something, say something. If you see something, say something. I'm not saying you should not say something, but why must it be something that is going to implicate your race? Is that the only thing you want to see, you want to talk about? Is that the only thing? But let us be honest. Anyway, let me just let us listen to this jingle, the jingle of Ezal. Move forward. They're coming back.
Ebugheli egwu abịabugheli egwu ebugheli ọnọdụ asụkwa n'aka
I see you. You're welcome, Oliver. You're welcome. I greet you.
Eze anyị abụghị ngwụrọ
That's so.
Kama enwere ihe mere ede ji obe nwee maka ya bụ atụmnta ego nke anyị si na ọ ga-abụ mgbe ọnwa ga-adị na mkpụrụ ụbọchị 3 bụ Fraịde abụzi ka anyị si wee lụ ya kama ebughele ya bụ ihe ka ọ dị mgbe ọnwa ga-adị na mkpụrụ ụbọchị 8 bụ Wenezdee nke ọnwa anyị nọ n'ime ya bụ Ọktoba. Igbo bụ Igbo, ọ ka mma ka ijiri aka gị wee gegharịa ya bụ ọkwa dịka esi wee meghere ya osibilile uchachachacha ezen kwenu, Igbo kwenu, Biafra kwenu, kwezonu. Asị na-ekwekọ ama agba, a na-asụkwa na anyụkọ mamịrị ọnụ ọgba ọfụfụ. Ọkazi wee sị gịnị na ihe a ji ada ọtụtụ eso bụ maka onye afọ ibe ya afụ. Ụmụ eze ndị Chukwu tere ude ma chọfa mma, ekene geenụ ntị n'ọkwa dị oke mkpa. Steeti Ezean na-akpọkụ gị bụ onye na-ege ntị ka ị bịa nọnyere ha maka achụmnta ego nke a kpọrọ mega fundraising. Ya bụ emume ga-amalite mgbe ọnwa ga-adị na mkpụrụ ụbọchị 8 bụ Wenezdee nke ọnwa anyị nọ n'ime ya bụ Ọktoba. Ezean nwere mmadụ, Ezean zuru ka eme, Ezean bụ ideji mba. Nupụta na n'igwe ka anyị gosipụta nke anyị ji bụrụ ụmụ Ezean. Dịka ọ bụrụ na ị ma ha okpuru ọchịchị nọ na ya bụ Ezean, ngwa tụọnụ ntị n'ala ka unu nụrụ ka aha n'uju. Anịdịmma County, Udi County, Ezedike, Ụmana, Oji River, Achị, Mbanabọ, Anike, Mmam, Ọgwụ, Aba, Ọwa, Oye, na-enwe Mbanatọ nakwa Odume. Obodo ndị anyị nụrụ bụ ndị mejupụtara ya bụ steeti Ezeani. Isiokwu ya bụ asụmnta ego bụ maka nchekwa obodo anyị bụ Biafra, ya na iji nyere ndị ogbenye bụ ndị omekome bụ gọọmenti Naijiria wakporo, kụtusia ụlọ ha ma gbaa ụlọ ha ọkụ, napụsa ahịa nke ha ji were bili. Onye dere ọkwa n'asụsụ Bekee bụ odeakwụkwọ ukwu steeti Biafra bụ Maazị Chijioke, mana nwa bụ Nze Akụnaobi tụgharịrị ya ma gụpụtara unu n'asụsụ Igbo. Onye tinyere aka n'ọkwa bụ gọvanọ steeti Ezeani bụ Honorable Dan Alia. Ndị ga-anọ n'isi oche na ya bụ ọgbakọ bụ nne Biafra, agụ nwanyị Odoziakụ Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. Ọ ya bụ onye isi nlekọta ọrụ ma bụrụkwa osote Prime Minister Biafra bụ Maazị Simon Ekpa Njoku. Pharmacist Diana Eme bụ onye nchekwa ego ga-anọkwa na ya bụ ọgbakọ, tinyekwara onye isi nchekwa ala Biafra bụ Honorable Solomon Nkwọcha. Ndị a ka a kpọrọ oku ga-anọ na ya bụ ọgbakọ. Ebe a ga-anọ mee ya bụ ọgbakọ bụ nke ndị oyibo kpọrọ Zoom. Ya bụ ọgbakọ ga-amalite mgbe ọ ga-esete aka n'elekere 7 nke uhuruchi. Ezeani birikwanụ, onye a gara nwanne ya, tụsara m n'ozi a. Aka bụkwa nwanne unu nwoke Ichie Nze Akụnaobi, ka ọ bara nwoke ma bakwara nwaanyị, ka ọ dịrị mgbe anyị ga-achị ya bụ nta. Ndị nwere ụmụnne m bụ ndị na-ege m ntị n'olu, ka emesịa.
All right. Let's go back. Let's continue from where we stopped.
That same guy, man, don't walk on the alliance with Obi when no one's criticized. As a Christian, I'm not talking about politics now. I'm telling you what is going on, so you know that it is politics. Like I said, in order to make it look real, that is the main thing.
Now let me take it back a little bit.
Politics. And this is why I did against the likes of Nasiri El-Rufai. Because El-Rufai is a typical religious fanatic.
Okay.
And he's a politician.
Okay.
But you see why I call it politics? That same guy, man, now, oh God. No one come in alliance with Obi when no one's criticized. As a Christian, I'm not talking about politics now. I'm telling you what is going on. So you know that it is politics. Like I said, in order to make it look real, that is the main thing. They have to just do these attacks. And lastly, some of these people that they're giving these guns to, in order to make this story look real, they lost control of these guys. These guys have the guns, they have the bullets, they know where they get the bullet from, they know who brings them in, they have a deal with these people directly now. So it's hard for these politicians to control them entirely.
My brother Chicos, I greet you.
Some way, somehow, because they need raw cash. And that gets led to kidnappings in Nigeria. Before you had the normal kidnappings, but now they take a whole bus into the bush. Politics. That's the breadth of it all. Nigeria is surrounded.
Nigeria is surrounded, okay.
Things they go on. Say Fulani headsmen attack. Sometimes it is, sometimes it is not. It's just to sell the market. A lot of Fulanis are also crying that we don't know what is going on. It's not us. Yes. A lot of Fulani are also saying, it is not us. We don't know what's going on. Any small thing they call our names, it is not us. You don't have to make it look great. They already have a tag and they will stick to that. Politics. Not at all. So Ryan Garcia, American journalists and everybody keep on talking about it. Because it is true. It is true. A lot of Christians are suffering. Churches are being burned. But again, I would like to also mention that Muslims are also suffering. And at the end of the day, politics. Still, I'm telling you, even President Bola Ahmed Tinubu said, unless if you call out before you follow these guys, then play. I swear to God, bro. I'm not even capping. He knows. The president knows. He knows. Can't count too much. Anyways, because they're full of us. Shout out to Ryan Garcia and all those people talking about it. Please don't stop. Continue. Continue. I don't know how it's going to end, but it needs to be spoken about. May God help us. Please.
It is not entirely politics. That's why I disagree. This is just like you know the problem, but you are trying to massage it. Blessing you, I see you, I agree to you. You are trying to massage it. You don't need to massage it. Also blessed. Also blessed. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate you, my brother. Thank you and God bless you. I reward you mightily. Although quiz you from Bongo. My brother. Ebe I can ekwu okwu ya now. No. Ebe I can ekwu okwu ya now. People are going through a lot. Through a lot. Nke abụkwa na I have connection, I have contact. You may have it, you may have even a good job like that lady that is working with her rice that just died. You see how she ended. Very, very sad. Very, very sad indeed. So, anyone telling you that is a politics, you are still misunderstanding. And you don't need to use your platform to say that kind of thing. It is an ethnic war. Try your best, very dark man, to understand what Osman Danfodio did, the mission and the agenda of Osman Danfodio, that they are now trying to complete. And how to complete it, they have to plant their people in various, posts in politics so that it will be more easier for them. Remember to some of us that follow PM, when he was talking about Abuja Declaration. Abuja Declaration. This is a part of it. One of the agenda of that Abuja Declaration is to make sure that they are in control of most of this political position. So at end of by the end of the day, you will notice that they'll be the one solving the so-called problem because they're the one in the leading. Then the help of affair, they are the one. If you have issue, you come to them. They're the one to talk about it. They are the one to push it out there. So whatever they said, stand. And they actually conquered it. It took them a very long time, but patiently they got it. Christians cannot do that. They're busy sabotaging themselves. An average Igbo man prefer to see another person leading than to have his own brother because he don't want his own brother to be rubbing it on his face. You get the point. He don't want it to be rubbing it. And to be honest with you, we often do that once you have maybe power or once we occupy position that look like we are better than another of our brother, or we feel we use that to rub it on their face. You hold me, you know that kind of thing. Other people do it, but not as brutal as our own people do. That is the problem. And for you to understand what I just said now, or for you to notice that what I said now is not, I'm not capping. I'm just trying to bring it to you the way it is. Let us go to post from senator. He's a senator. Educate. We often say education is this. You can see he's educated as well. Read what he said here. After saying that he's a Christian, that the target Christians are being targeted. Even you, very dark man, you can see that. But this man is supposed to have more, access to information than you as a senator. On September 28th this year, let me point it so that for record purpose, this is the date, right? This is the date. This man made a post. If you can see the date now, I just point my mouse there so that you can see the date will come out, even the time when he made the post and everything, you can see it. He said September 28th, 2025. This man made a post saying bandits and Ndobunigwe in Nigeria don't discriminate between Muslims and Christians in their evil and murderous acts. Let's end it there. This is Sheikh Hussain trying to defend bandits and terrorism. Why? Because he knew that those carrying it out are from his tribe. So you have to put it out there that it's not, they don't discriminate. They do discriminate. They do. They attack churches and buy priests, pastors and Christians worshippers. They attack mosque and buy imam and Muslim worshippers. They're kidnapping, they are kidnapping and victim caught across all faith and ethnic group is a lie. It's a lie. Saying those things is just to make sure that he's already his tribe. But they are the one that knows a lot of things behind this thing that we're saying now. They know a lot. They know a lot of things behind what this issue. But somehow they don't want to. He cannot come out and tell you. Most of their victims are actually Muslims. Most of their victims are actually Muslims. Going by the states, they mostly operate. All faiths are on the internet. All facts are on the internet. Sorry. The bill Mahas claim of slaughtering of Christians by Muslims in Nigeria is utterly false. This is why it is difficult to fix this. And this man tagged this into false news so that we get to Trump. You see, these people from their various position in politics, they are utilizing their office to make sure they can defend their people like you cannot imagine. The question is why? What is story behind it? If you say it's a bad politics, what does this man stand to gain? You find out that he gained something because the only way he can get something is because he protected his own tribe that actually carried out this heinous crime. Let us go through the comments from this post so that you understand what I'm talking about. Madi Shehu said, bandits and terrorists in Nigeria have learned and perfected their deadly skill from politicians. When politicians steal money meant for health care, it results in thousands of dying and mobility. In the same manner, bandits killed thousands in multiple attacks. When politicians steal money meant for purchase of ngwogo and other operational needs, they make our fighting troop vulnerable to superior firepower, and what follows is avoidable death. What follows is avoidable death from the well-skilled and superior equipment of the bandits. Now, he's also trying to all this write-up The spiro equipment from bandits comes from who? From who? Who? How did they even get it? Do you understand? What is going on? If you cannot answer these questions, then there's no point of talking. You don't need to talk. You don't need to try to defend what you already know that people are seeing through you. Everything you are trying to say, what is very, very clear. People are saying that. This Masu Zafi said, that is exactly what I have been trying to say all this week. They are all defending this. Christians are actually the first to cry persecution. Okay, since the early church victimhood, since the early church victimhood had been centered to their story being hate for the faith, seen as proof of righteousness. They often weaponize this native, loud about their own suffering, but blind to others. The question is, the terrorists are of which ethnic and religion? That is the bone of contention. This is, when Igbo man comment, So if you say that it's not about Christianity, are they from which tribe? Are they from which tribe? And who is this one? Anyway, Anambra last born. Femi Vanika, your death post another. So people are paying attention to this incident, and that's why I said this is my own opinion. Please, I felt that all this thing going on now, all this attack, or whatever that's happening now, from bandit and terrorism and what have you, we end up helping. It will help a lot of people, a lot of tribe to free themselves, because yes, the chances of surviving is very, very limited. Very, very limited. Very, very limited. People are going to buy, people are going to lose their life. But as they are losing their life, those who pretend they don't want to talk will end up talking. They will talk. There's a post that I would like to touch here about somebody talked about it here, I believe. Okay, let's listen to this one though before we do that. This is from this Igbo guy.
This one now. Christians.
No.
Christians. This one now. But this one a little better. Let's rise up, Nigerian Christians. Let's rise up and shut Nigeria down. This king of Christians is getting out of hand. Christians have shut down. And the Nigerian Christians never rise up to say no to this. They are keeping silent.
Franco Koy, I agree to you. Some people say that this guy has been arrested. I don't know if that is true. Some people say that he's not in the custody. I don't know if that is true. In Nigeria, nobody gets killed for insulting Jesus Christ. Love him deeply, but they do not defend that love with violence. Why is our own different? Why do we think killing for the prophet is devotion? We cry Islamophobia, but all people not right to fear. All people, he said, but are people not right to fear? This is a Muslim or a Muslim person. He says, let me take it again, because his write-up is very, very interesting. When somebody comment with free mind, you can see that. He said, in Nigeria, nobody gets tired for insulting Jesus. Christians love him deeply, but they do not defend that love with violence. Why is our different? Why is ours different? Speaking from Muslim angle. Why do we think buying for prophet is devotion? We cry Islamophobia. They cry because people are afraid of Islam. Do you understand? They cry because we cry Islamophobia, but are people not right to fear? This is awesome to hear or to see from a Muslim point of view. Madam Origin is here with us. I greet you, man. You're welcome. Our people, because that's one thing about our people. Because of this kind of topic that I'm presenting now, people don't want to watch it. That's honestly give me concern, because it goes to show that we don't even understand the problem. My God, we don't understand this problem. Yes, it's good to fight for freedom. Plateau people are not fighting for freedom. This is two different issues. One, we are fighting for, if Biafrans want to go from Nigeria in terms of political aspect of it. But you see this terrorism and banditry and everything going on, and simply because they want to grab land. Remember, Fulani want to have a country of that called Fulani country. Like now you have Ghana, Tanzania, Mozambique, Kenya. They want to have Fulani as a country simply because they see their brothers SUM moving like a lost sheep. They don't have any lost sheep. They don't have any place in Ghana. They are settlers. Like Ghana is not the indigenous land. In Kenya, the same thing. In Niger, they are there. I don't know if Niger in all the country. I don't know if they are Fulani or not. I don't know, but I can tell you, they see Nigeria as the only country that is there for take. And without Igbo people, it would have been very, very easy. But let me tell you, in case if you're watching, each time you see people talking about this kind of thing, you just click and go. Click and go. You want to hear, you can only concentrate your mind like that when you have totally liberated yourself and be in a country without any other background or something like that. You understand? You cannot. He said, "Now you they wake up from your sleep, brother. Sorry for you, Christianity." Franco Conco, are you talking to me or? Say now you they wake up from your sleep, brother. Sorry for your brother. Sorry for you, Christianity. I think you are talking about the comment that I read before. Kevin is here. Kevin said, "Brother Kai, we are here." I know, but I know what I'm saying. I have tested this many times. This is not the first time. You understand? If let's say that this program now has to do with, let's say other things that many people want to hear. Of course, their fans will be here, and the annoying part is most of them are those educated ones. Anyway, let me not go there. Everyone have choice. We don't joke with anything that will make us to laugh and all that. But this is not a laughing matter. Sometimes I don't even drive joy talking about it, but I have to. Because that is bone of contention. That's the main thing. The main problem. You can fight for freedom. You can complain about Nigerian government and all that. But you see this idea of the agenda of Usman Nafodo, that they are moving. They have invested a lot. So it's not easy. It's not something that you can quench by whispering. You can't whisper and gossip and all of a sudden it stops. And the level of understanding, the poor understanding of the poor knowledge of what Fulani want to do from our own point of view, from our own people, is shocking, and it's very, very scary. He said, I meant the man, Kai, please, not you. And I think I said I can see where your comment is coming from. I understand. Okay, this person said, Muslims, let's buy more Muslims so we can drive the narrative that Christians are not targeted, so we can enjoy our bias. Muslim on social media. Can you see more Muslims are being quiet? it is not Christians genocide, even if thousands of Christians are died. That is another thing. It could be this tactics, maybe this tactics is what they're using. You all Muslims justify this. That's another thing. This is Deborah. Do you understand? This is Deborah, and this is when they burn her alive. Each time this lady, this girl, oh my goodness, she really suffered. She really, do you know, just because of what? Comment on WhatsApp. And Sheikh Husani have the audacity to tell you that is not true. Sheikh Husani said, I see you, said you are welcome. Said you are welcome. And Sheikh Husani have the audacity to tell you that no, that even Muslims suffered more. Bring one Muslim that been born alive like this. Do you understand it? That is a very big problem. Very, very big problem. Let us read this comment here. You okay, he said your downwards. Should I read this? Okay. Your downward spinal cord continues. Let us call a spade by its name. You don't hear much condemnation when these attacks are on Christians community. Those who thought their brothers were fighting jihad are now crying because the wheel has turned. This man here is another person. Almost everybody, even a very dark man talked about him. Oh yeah, never. So Deborah is another issue. The comment is too much. It's too much. Let us move from this comment. Let us go. Let us just move away from this. Now, I don't know if this man is a Ghanaian. He speaks like a Ghana preacher or Ghanaian preacher. Let's hear what he said here about this issue.
Please, every child of God share the video. When we say share, it means share.
Okay.
Because when you don't share the video, don't go far. So please, if you don't Jesus, share this video for me. Look at this message on the screen.
I can't read it that, to be honest. It's very, very small.
Our brother is doing well for our Lord Jesus in Nigeria. And look at what this stupid, unentity, demonic, blood-suckers Muslim is telling the youth to do against this man. Look, read on the screen. Come and read the message. This is what you call peace religion. I'm sending this message to Nigerians and to the governor or the president of that nation. Listen very carefully. If you don't do anything about this demonic religion called Islam, a time is coming, you will regret it. I'm telling you. Because the blood sharing and the killing is too much. If they are the bad Muslims, why don't the Christians come out and say, this is not the teaching of Islam? But when the Muslims are killing for Allah, they are happy. Because that is how they are spreading Islam. Read Quran chapter 5, 33. I'm putting it on the screen. Because if you are condemning other people's religion, and they don't kill you for it, they don't look for you and cut your head off. But when people talk about Muhammad, it's an insult. When people expose Allah, it is insult. But when you condemn the Bible and call Jesus a Muslim, it's not an insult. You think you are better than nothing. You think you are smart and wise than nothing. So according to the Muslim Quran, when anybody talk about Islam and the Muslim don't like it, they shall arrest you, cut your hands off, and crucify you.
Imagine.
So when they are doing this to people, when they are in the minority, they can come and tell us they are the bad Muslims. You think that why the rest Muslim men without long beard, demonic man like this today is the motivational preacher. If you don't share this video, God will not be happy with you. They'll come and tell us which religion is killing people in the world like Muslims. Tell me. Which religion is taking lives in this world like this man? Tell me. Mention my religion. Look at what Muhammad did in Sahih Buhari. Sahih Buhari 3018. This is the most merciful man. This is the man they are following. Why would they be killing people? Why would they be threatening people every day and telling people that we are looking for you to take your life? Because their leader, Muhammad himself, he was a wicked monster. Look at what he did in Sahih Buhari 3018. until the night.
Hmm.
This is what Muhammad himself did to people. So what do the Muslims do to people? If Muhammad is there, somebody are following, and Muhammad is putting iron on his fire, removing people's eyes. What do you think the Muslims should do to people? Our politicians, we are begging you in the name of Jesus. I know not all you politicians who allow money to control you. I know not all of you. But we are begging all of you that for the sake of human life and the sake of human life and the respect for life, ban Islam for us. Ban Islam for us. So ban this religion. It's not a religion that came for humanity. It came to destroy, to kill. Do you know the number of souls that they are killing? Please share the video. Share the video. I'll be calling your life to this. I don't want to use all my strength on this video. When I saw this video, I got angry. Why would you be chasing people and want to kill people? For what? Why are you talking about other people's religion? Nobody's chasing about you. Why do you think you can kill people? Because they spoke about Muhammad. But when you are talking about other people's religion, you think nobody can attack you. Who do you think that?
Mana Tinubu na-adị na mma ya emepe ọnụ fa ji eri ji na ede si kedu mgbe all these Igbo billionaires Fana Tinubu na-adị na mma ya emepe ọnụ fa ji eri ji na ede si ya biko relisiela anyị Nnamdị Kalụ na o nwere ife ome n'ọka ọ dịrị ụmụ Igbo nwa ka ọ na-achọ ọrọ data ime elubere kedu mgbe all these South East governors ga-apụta n'igwe n'uke aka sisi relisiela fa Nnamdị Kalụ na Nnamdị Kalụ emere alụ n'ọka ọ baala ụmụ Igbo ka ọ na-achọ bandit pụta openly na-edimandị ife a ga-enye mana emechata a na-eme Igbo bilonia ya ejide Mike na-akpa ndị Igbo na onye echicha onye ndị Igbo data Igbo bilonia afọ na ife a na-eme ndị Igbo adịrọ mma big men nọ n'ala Igbo nọcha alfa mechie ọnụ fa ya ekwu nru okwu because onye kwu okwu collapse ọ business ya for how many years ụmụ Igbo ya agbalụ ndị Yoruba boy gbalụ ndị Hausa boy onolubero mgbe ụmụ Igbo ya nọ n'isi ka jụọ how many years ka Nnamdị Kalụ kwado ya na detention nothing is happening onye ịkpara aka n'ọnụ asị gị na Nnamdị Kalụ na-ebute violence n'ala Igbo onye Igbo na-eji ọnụ egwu mana onye Hausa na-agbagbusi ndị mmadụ niile etuchu ụmụ nwaanyị dị iche iche pụtara na-ekwu ife anya enye ya mana onwe ndị Igbo fa na prezidenti na-adị na mma ụmụ Igbo billionaires Igbo politicians Igbo gọvanọ fa na prezidenti na-adị na mma
Anaghị ọbụla akụkọ
nna anyị ofu mkpụrụ sayị unu na-agbagharị mgbe ahụrụ na-erelizi Nnamdị Kalụ unu na-edowe arụ na ya na-achọ Biafra ọchọ bụrụ onwe ya bikos na ife na-agara unu aka Igbo sokwa eme onwe fa ahụ oge erukwa mgbe ọnwa anụ ya eti okwu ọnụ na dis case all these Igbo billionaires na-aga apụta elekshọn duwakwa na ara ekwuwe prezidenti agha atụere na onye agha atụrụ ọrụ taịm elu ụkwa mgbe aga onye mepee gate kpụọ oriri nwere ya akros.
Anyway, I don't get the part what you said about natural Biafra. Can nobody focus about?
Unu na-edowe arụ na ya na-achọ Biafra mkpụrụ sayị unu na-agbagharị mgbe ahụrụ na-erelizi Nnamdị Kalụ unu na-edowe arụ na ya ụmụ Igbo billionaires Igbo politicians Igbo gọvanọ fa na prezidenti na-adị na mma gosigodu na anyị ofu mkpụrụ sayị unu na-agbagharị mgbe ahụrụ na-erelizi Nnamdị Kalụ unu na-edowe arụ na ya na-achọ Biafra ọchọ bụrụ onwe ya bikos na ife na-agara unu aka.
Now you are complicating the issue here. Are you saying that governors are Nahafa natural Biafra? All I can do now is what the folk here. Okuku here, he did not open. He did not open up at all. He did not open up at all. He just trying to say something. So he did that guy complete to say the whole thing. But about everything, you cannot just mix something. You need governors and a president at Nama who they do say on the from natural Biafra. Governors are not looking for Biafra. Unless if maybe you yourself also have issue to understand what is going on. I don't know. I can't just imagine what you're saying, to be honest with you. What you said is totally out of it. I don't get it. You see, but the guy. Thank God, my brother. I don't understand what he's talking about. You are blaming governor for not speaking for talking to president or speaking up against mass illegal detention and everything. In the midst of saying that it's not Hanacho Biafra, I don't get it. He's just talking nonsense, totally nonsense. I can't even ask because I don't like him get if you get the man what if he could there. Now, Makande Nina water if I go. Let us go. Let's just watch this few seconds video. But before then, okay, let us watch the video first before we now read the headline message. Maybe it will help us to understand. Watch. Okay, let us read the message that comes with it. It says, mothers protested this afternoon in Jota Aka, Tura, Kwando local government of Benue State, accusing the military of carrying out the buying that happened yesterday in their community. Why? Because military have the bandit representative in them. This is not about insulting Nigerian military. It's about saying it the way it is for humanity. For humanity. Just imagine your community today, your community in Ebonyi State, your community, if you are from Ebonyi State or from Imo, from Enugu, from Abia, from Anambra, are you from Delta, Anioma, are you from Benin, are you from Akwa Ibom, are you from anywhere you are, that you have not experienced this kind of thing? Imagine your community people gathering like this, seeking for, crying and complaining, not because something happened, not because of bad road. That one is not normal, but because of dying of your brothers, your cousins, your friends in the same community. Not one, not two, in mass. Imagine that. And not that you are crying that somebody will help you. No, nobody's going to help you. The issue is that governors and senators that we are actually crying to, they are handicapped. They put their political career first before your life. None of them can give up their political career and stand like a man and say something or fight against this. No. They always want to side those who will help them with INEC to rig them back to power. So if you're expecting them and you think that somehow Nigeria have money, that a governor will do it, you are on your own. Benue State have a governor, is a state on its own, but they are unable to defend themselves now. According to the news, that half of the local government or communities of Benue State now is now in the hands of bandits, and they are renaming those communities every now and then because they have conquered that. So to push them back, I said this, I think it wasn't not yesterday, 4 years there. To push them back requires more strength and more force. Imagine you can't even defend yourself when they have not even gained ground. Is it after gaining ground and the government is one backing them up, whether you like it or not? It's not as if people don't know what to do. It's not as if people don't know that this is not normal thing to see or to handle. But Tinubu can never ever fight to that level, because if he do, he's afraid of his second term. That's why he will do everything now to cover this info for him to remain as a president for you to be traveling, from place to place without any stress, moving on convoy. What Tinubu is enjoying as a president of Nigeria matters to him more than any other thing that you can think of. That should be a concern to you. And this is to remind you, equal fundraising, ka eweta ego ka a ga-eji wee mefe one or two things iji wee gbazie ndị mmadụ onu, iji wee mee ife a ga-eme ka ụdị ihe a na-eme na Benue ka ọ bụ ime na ime gị wa ị na-afụta ya na ị na-atụrụ ndị mmadụ ego fa na-eri na ego ị na-atụ you are not sure of it, and don't give account of it. Bandit is not going to give you account of the operation by the time they hit your community. Kidnappers is not going to give you account of how much they are making by collecting ransom. It is better. You need to also wake up to understand the danger. That's what understand. This is the idea of let us go and laugh out loud. Let us just go and catch cruise. All the time, I'm not saying you should not, because all work no play make Jack a dull boy. Yes, now all work no play make Jack a dull boy. So I'm not saying you should not laugh out loud. You should not enjoy your time and all that. It's good. I do it as well. I have my time to because I like comedy skit and all that. That's my own one of my hobby. I watch it to catch fun and to enjoy myself, but there's time for everything. All this buying going on is not meant for any particular race. You need to understand the danger at hand, because every now and then people are paying the price, and those those they buy today, they're not going to buy them tomorrow. A new person is turn by turn. God forbid we cannot die prematurely, but we need to also do something for us not to die premature, because this warning coming out every now and then, we should not take it for granted. We should learn or understand what is happening elsewhere for us to know what we can do. I'm a kind of person that loves to put myself in somebody's shoe. Seeing these people now, mothers sitting on the floor, you look at the way they look, you already know that these ones are handicapped. They don't know what to do, because it's a battle between them and the federal government. Forget about this bandit you are hearing is just government workers. That's why they give them any free hand, paying them and all this. When you say that, they say you're attacking government. I'm not attacking government. I just want you to understand how painful this thing is. A lot of people don't understand it, because now in Benue, like I always remind you, the border between Enugu and Benue is not all that far. It's just like Anambra and Enugu. Enugu and the Boy State. Enugu and River State. These are states that just neighbor. Once you just cross, few meters away, you are there. Few meters away, you are here. Anambra State and Enugu are almost the same. They're shape border. They in fact, it's the same thing, just a little bit demarcation, right? Not even water separate them. No, the same thing. Benue and Enugu State. By the time they conquer, after them have seized the whole Benue State, next place is where? Guess where? Enugu State. Of course, the Boy State. Of course, Anambra State. And as they're hitting, remember the Kwara State is falling. Or coming to your land and have base. That's why America build military base in some different region, different part of the world, because there's no need to start launching attack from America. If in case there's any issue, they are very close to you already. So to hit you will be very, very easy. Let me play it again so you can see. Time good, I see you. Time good. You're welcome. Now, let's hear this another message.
Of Fulani.
Hold on.
Calculated mistake. I titled this video "Calculated Mistakes and the Frustration of Fulani Oligarchy." After the 8 years of Buhari reign of terror and terrorism in Nigeria, all his agenda could not succeed. From Ruga, Nigeria resisted Ruga, Cattle Colony, Nigeria rejected Cattle Colony, and then livestock transformation program, Nigeria rejected it. The last attempt was actually the Wuru census he wanted to do. Nigeria all rejected it. But then, since his 8 years was up, there was nothing they can do. They wanted a situation whereby you hand over power to someone that will continue the Fulani Islamization agenda program. One, the calculation mistake that they did was, okay, let them hand over power to a Yoruba man who will be a Muslim, and they'll bring a VP to actually be a Muslim ticket. That desire to hand over power was not out of sincerity, but it was out of mischief. When they told that the grandpa in the villa now, because he was not looking mentally okay and he was not looking strong, they knew very well that Osibajo would have become a better president by development and economic antics of this country. But no, because they have interior motives, they decided to bring grandpa who they thought in their mind that would not last. And they brought Shetima, who was actually a book. The parameter in an event that grandpa died or become incapacitated, Shetima would take over. But to God be the glory. Since after the swearing in, the grandpa has been like a 40-year-old young man. Now, their frustration began when they discovered that they have made a calculated mistake. One, the grandpa is not dying soon. Second, most of the structure that Buhari actually put in power before handing over, they discovered that the grandpa is actually destroying them. They also discovered that the emperor, the pharaoh of Kaduna, that's supposed to actually carry their plan and their agenda, they thought he could either become chief of staff or SSG. He did not get any of
That's the Erufai.
Rather, even the minister could not be given to him. It is out of this frustration that you see what is going on in the north today, that their tribal owners from pillar to pole calling for alliance, that they want to unseat the president. Now, the question here is it only the north that have the ability that can unseat and decide who becomes the president? I know that grandpa in the villa is not doing well economically, but if it is Nigerians that actually want a different president, that is a different ballgame. But it should not be that it is the northern oligarchy that will decide who become president and who lose the presidency. And thank God for the last.
The answer to your question is yes. They are the one. Whether you like it or not, they are the one. I don't pretend that you don't know this answer. Don't pretend.
Alliance, Peter Obi has stood his ground. He will be the presidential candidate, and Rufai will not be his deputy except Ahmed Deti. Now, foolishly, they are calling Arayo Bashola, they are calling Rotimi Ameji. These are the foolish Southerners they use during Buhari, and they want to repeat it. I want all the Southerners to know nobody is comfortable with the regime, the present regime, and the status quo of this country. But let it be that if Nigerians want change, let the change be from Nigerians and not from a few Fulani northern oligarchy.
Okay. You are, although I believe most of you know the truth, but you have to say something like this, so that it will be like something is going on. You know that they are the one dictating everything. You know, our brother Chico said their former governor Autumn tried to do something about it, but to no avail. Autumn is one of those who actually fought Biafran with everything in him, and God, there's a way God do his own thing. He's alive and he's witnessing it. So let me not blame him for that, because you can blame a lot of people about it. Trump administration expresses deep concern over attack on Christians in Nigeria. So that is from Sahara Reporter. And another, I think it is from Australia. It said Christians from Nigeria and all over Africa and the Middle East are being mass slaughtered by Muslims every single day. Yeah, the leftist social justice warriors, the government and the MSM are completely silent. Instead, the focus is on supporting the Islamists that are hunting and murdering this innocent human being. You have to understand that the left do not care about human life. They just follow what is seen as popular. My thoughts are with the Christians all over the world that are being targeted because of their faith and because of their won't submit to Islam. Now the video here, of course, let's listen to that. Start from the No, this is I just removed it because you can see somebody's somebody exam. So I have to remove it, please. Let me see if I can play it without presenting it. Let's hear the voice of the man complaining. I think because I have not watched it before. Just a moment. Let us leave it this way. Let me play it again. Let's play it again. I think it will make more sense because of the owner of the platform. They don't like this kind of thing to show.
Yesterday, one of my colleagues, Reverend, was slaughtered with his wife and his children. And I'm right here, look at women. Immediately they were communicating. After the Fulani husband have really burning down two villages. Then the soldiers came in, trying to cause confusion. And who are these army men that are using machine motorcycles? The shoot.
This is very bad.
To do the last prayer, this Islamic agenda is taking over the nation. Now live at the police station in Pakistan. Look at those at the IDPs. We have nobody to stand, and we are the survivor. Now more IDPs are being added. Where did they want to go? They have already signed our land, has been rejected to them. They have signed our villages, have been rejected to Fulani husband, and nobody's talking. Even my colleagues, reference are keeping quiet. Women are dying every day. Men are dying. What do you want us to do? Please, I'm begging you, complex men of London, please, stand for the helpless. I know you are a friend of mine in Facebook.
Now let's continue. It's very sad, to be honest with you.
Of his own problem. I'm telling you. And why do I say that? Because in the midst of this negotiation with bandits, have you heard any word from the federal government condemning the action? Despite the fact that the majority of the Hausa population are rejecting that and are saying that is injustice. But he doesn't care. Why? Because this is a man that came out to tell you people that he doesn't even believe in one Nigeria. And what makes him say that? Well, to some certain extent, we want to blame him for saying he doesn't believe in one Nigeria. But this is a man that has been in politics for a very long time before he made that comment. And why did he make that comment? Because he has seen that. Let's tell ourselves the truth. Now here we go tell ourselves the truth. At least you know get where we go talk and we don't go talk and for grave. Which is the fact that it now seems to be divided across religious basis. We're busy pursuing who is superior. Is it Christian or is it Muslim? Abi trying to establish the kingdom of God on earth. And he knows that to some certain extent, everybody have seen that happens to be a major determinant in regards who wins the next election. Just like we saw with the Muslim ticket, Abi. That is to tell you that while other regions are thinking of something else, in the north, all we think about is Muslim ticket, or who is of the same religion like we to vote into power. And haven't seen that and a lot of other variables. That is why he confidently came out to tell you that he doesn't believe in one Nigeria. And that is why you'll be surprised now, even in a state like Katsina, where there's high level of banditry and they are pardoning bandits now. When he enter Katsina now, they are clapping for him. Clapping, gathering around the whole street. Are you surprised? You shouldn't be surprised. Because it's all about give and take. You settle who you need to settle that will ensure your next time coming or whatever, and you go. And in regards to the plight of the Igbos, this is part of the reason I think he doesn't care. Because let's face it, the fact is, the demands of the Igbos are genuine and authentic in regards to the sense that, let's face it now, why will you, despite the fact that the Niger Delta, at least after the division, after they don't separate and carve them out into a cycle, they are no more with the Niger Deltas, they are no more the same with the Niger Deltas, but they used to be, But the fact is, what I'm trying to say is the fact that before now they were one, and they are considered as the oil-producing regions of the state. And as a result of that, they have a lot of they have a lot of waterways. They are close to the ocean as one region before the division. Before they now isolated the Igbos in the middle. But after they have isolated them now, they are on their own. The Niger Deltas now are in command. And since the Niger Deltas are in command now, they now compensated them with 13% derivative. Despite the fact that the 13% derivative doesn't go around for everybody, it's only for the bourgeois, for the big men of the region. Because if you go to Niger Delta, if you see the level of hardship, you will be shocked. You will be surprised that this is an oil-producing region in Nigeria. You will be shocked. So they are compensated, they kept quiet. So when the Igbos now come up to complain and say, hey, we don't have port, we're supposed to have port or whatever, they say, we don't get water. You don't have water. It's the Niger Deltas that have water. Can you see? So by virtue of that now, they are left with no options. And again, they have succeeded in empowering people.
That's option, my brother. That we have option.
Or whatever, that at the end of the day, when the Igbos come to say that we are one, this used to be the same region, we are all the same region, we are all Biafra or whatever they call it, they will say thunder fire, you God forbid. They will now remind them of during the Civil War, when they unalive some deltas or whatever, they put it in their head, they say Igbo people are no good people. They say just stay on your own, most stay on their own. So at the end of the day, everybody is living with poverty. Just like I keep saying, why will the oil companies have their headquarters in Lagos, remitting everything to Lagos and the rest of it?
Okay.
So a divided kingdom, and just like they say, a divided kingdom can never stand. That is the modus operandi. So everybody now is left to fight for his own. Niger Delta, they fight another cause. Igbo people, they fight another cause. So you look at all these dynamics, You get to see that. At the end of the day, it's all man for himself. And let's look at it. In the midst of all this insecurity or whatever, now I will tell you, take it or leave it. You Dudua Republic, the Lagos happens to be the most fortified region. Why is it the most fortified? Because Amoteku is there. And the swift action in the sense that when something happens like this, they nip it immediately and it stops. Part of the reason why the Niger Delta is even enjoying some relevant peace at the moment is because they are near the waterways, and apart from that, they happen to be the hub, the engine of Nigeria's revenue at the moment. So anything that affects them affects Nigeria's revenue. And that is why they find it very easy to nip any insecurity in the Niger Delta, but poverty may remain.
Please like the video. We are about to wind down. Like the video. In case if you have not.
Just sit down and keep deceiving ourselves and be thinking that this person is going to change, or because he doesn't understand what is happening. They understand perfectly what is happening. But having said all this, is there actually a solution?
Yes, there is.
There is a solution.
There is a solution.
But it's only meant for he who is ready to listen.
Okay. I thought you wanted to say the solution. Anyway, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. We are going to turn it now. And I have to appreciate all of you that joined me in this one. Thank you so much for your time, especially those who started with me. And please keep your eyes on the channel. We will come back again, hopefully late nights. Okay. If I finish what I'm doing, I have to rush to somewhere now to do one or two things before coming back. Once I come back, if I finish on time, I will be here again. God bless you and make sure you like the video. See you and take care. Bye-bye for now.